Closing public comment.
Yep, close public comments at 6:15. Old business, review the board review date changes. As we discussed in the last meeting, the assessor had requested that we change the board review dates for July and December. And, there should be a motion in front of you for resolution 24 dash, let's correct that to 1 or 2 now.
Yep. Means I gotta renumber the entire packet. Wonderful.
There are worse things, my love. All right, resolution number 2, board of review date change.
So this is coming from a request from the assessor.
Yes, sir, ma'am.
Okay, I just didn't, you guys mentioned there was a letter and I just didn't see a copy of it in correspondence. Have you checked with board of review members to see if these dates work for them as well? So the assessors, I mean, if the assessor is at board of review, it's great and it's useful and it's helpful, but the more important aspect of it, your board members be there. So I'm just asking, did you check with the board of review members to make sure that these date changes work?
I personally did not. But I know that he has their contact information. I presume that he spoke with them, but if he hasn't, he hasn't, and if he has, he has. He is requesting this, so we either approve it or we don't.
We have time, if it doesn't work, change it again.
This is what I'm
Is
asking.
there a deadline to
There's
change it?
very specific,
There's only so
I know
many
it's
days.
specific.
Laws for
how
board
much time
review
frame
and-
do we have?
right, and I served on board of review for almost 8 years, and if the assessor's there, it is very useful, and it's very helpful, but it's not necessary, it's not required. What is required is that your board of review members are there, so before we approve these dates, I'd just like us to ask those members of the board that they can make it too. I'm sure if it's just a matter of like a group email or a group text.
Well, let's ask Art. Art's on board review. Did the assessor contact you about the dates? Did you receive an email?
He did, and I said I could not make the July dates.
Okay. Kim, did he contact you?
He did, and I cannot make the time.
All right, that's 2 of 5 people.
I'm the chair.
And,
Can you just wait until we can find a common date that would work?
there's a reason you have alternates.
We have alternates.
Yeah, we have a full board of review with 3 members and 2 alternates.
Terry, I think it's good practice to try to find days and times that work for all involved. I'm sure that if we could have a group conversation with the assessor and the members of the board of review, that there's a way to find dates. There's very specific time frame when those have to be scheduled and notified by the state, so it's.
I'm
it's
fairly
kind of a
certain that
precedent
that
there.
group conversation would be, I can't attend that date. What about this? I can't attend that date. So we have 2 choices, the dates that we already have set, that the assessor can't go to, or the date that the assessor would like to be available to assist.
If everyone
And
on the
this
board of review can attend the initially scheduled dates, we should keep those dates.
But they've also changed board review dates, this being gone, because I know that personally. I came in,
Well, that was a misprint on the tax bills that was sent out. That wasn't on our board of review. That was a misprint that was
On the
sent
tax
out, miscommunication with
the
the
tax
tax
bill's
bill.
pretty good, important document.
Yes, I
I
agree
would
with
hope it
you
was correct.
completely, Jim.
It
I
wasn't.
agree with you, and it was not.
Right, we don't wanna beat that road again, you were right on that though. So, but the question comes down to,
So
do we extend the courtesy to the assessor, or do we extend the courtesy to the board of review members that have already planned on the date that we had scheduled?
Once again, I will say that it is not necessary for the assessor to be there.
Yeah.
All
A
board
new
review does
assessor, I
is-
would say he would probably like to be there.
He's
Very
not a
much
new
like to
assessor
be
as
there.
in like brand new to this business. He would be new to our
He's new
township.
to our
I
township, which
agree.
is new.
I agree. I'm not arguing that.
So-
But he's familiar with the work and assessing and being certified in that area, the MACF. But I would argue that the more important attendees are the board of review members, so the board of review can occur. All that they do is they hear from the public that day, they gather information, and when they have questions, when I was on board of review, there were dates when we had R&R assessing and they couldn't be there. And we reached out to them via phone or email, whatever the case would be for questions that we had to help us make those decisions. And just because we hear it on that day doesn't mean we have to decide on that day, or not meeting board of review. So we have the research, the time to do that research with the assessor. It would be unfortunate if he can't make it the first year, but he's not the necessary person at the meeting. The board of review members are.
Assessor wasn't at the last
Sure,
one.
okay, any further debate on the motion? First, I need a motion, I'll move it, if nobody
I
will
would
move,
like
I'll
to-
move it.
I'd like to move that we keep the original date. what were the original dates?
But
I think I have them
Here,
the
16th.
resolution is this.
we got a procedure issue. The first resolution at hand is the one here for the alternate dates.
That's my thought.
Resolution 2402. I move, is there a second? Karen seconds. All right, now we can continue this discussion. We've noted that, Crystal pointed out that the assessor is not needed,
Mhm.
and that, it's important that the board of review members be there. And Jim, your conversation was,
Well, we have 3 members and 2 alternates, and Art already said he can't make one of the meetings. If we adopt this right now tonight, and we find out that 2 other people cannot do that, we have time to change it one more time.
I think so.
Okay, I think if we adopt it tonight, and we get back to the people, get an answer from the members, who can make it, who can't make it.
Oh, you're saying adopt these new dates, even though we know
Well-
2 of the 5 can't be there?
Then if the assessor, we know if the assessor's coming or not.
We do know that he wants to come on these
Assessor picked
dates.
these
He
dates.
picked these
These are the
dates.
dates the
And-
assessor picked,
and
but
he
not the
contacted
board of
the board
review
of
members.
And here's the thing too, the board of review has a quorum of 2. So the 5 people, if 2 can't make it, there's still a board of review.
Board of review is one of the
Oh.
most important committees that a township has. I
So,
would not argue that we shoot for the bare minimum of it in attendance for that. It does not
Thank
strike
you.
me as good governance.
thank you. You bet. Let's let everybody else have their thing and then we can go to a vote and get it done. What was your
What
your
I'm
point?
saying, if these are dates the assessor, new assessor picked,
Mhm.
and we get a hold of the other people who are not here this evening, they can make these dates or can't make it, and more than 2 more can't make it, then we come back and change to the assessor.
That can be done.
I think we should
Alright.
It's
keep the
my thought
original
that if
dates.
the assessor has gotten in contact with the board of review,
Mhm.
there must be a consensus that there's going to be enough so that he would pick these dates.
Okay,
Do we
That's
know
my
that though? Do we
Alright.
know that there's a, cause we went through this last year with the scheduling with
We can.
Caleb because board of review members couldn't come when she was there, and we went through the same discussion
Yeah,
last
Helen.
year.
Alright. My comment is, I agree, the assessor doesn't have to be there. But I also note that the board of review only requires 2 people for a quorum. And working to include everybody,
Always occurred prior to this administration without any issue.
because there's this false consensus building that occurs where some people just go along because everybody, the majority looks like they're gonna go against them or whatever. So I don't believe in that.
I don't know what that-
So anyways, no further discussions, are we ready to move to a vote? Alright, it's, all those in favor of changing the board of review dates in accordance with. Those in favor of approval of the resolution at hand. Jim Sperling,
Yes.
Karen Perry,
Yes.
Terrence Hall is a yes, Anidra,
Yes.
Crystal.
No,
Alright, the motion is adopted 4-1, the board of review dates will need to be properly noticed and put in the paper.
so we're not even gonna follow Jim's addendum to see if the dates can be changed at all?
It wasn't an addendum, he's just asking if
He
it's
If we
was-
can,
possible.
if we can just contact the member members
But then your
before we,
first thing
before we go to
was to
paper.
put them in the paper right away.
I
so it's-
need a
there's
motion,
no
I'll make that as
intention.
a motion, we need to do that. Courtesy, number 1. With a proper motion, and we,
Okay.
all the members on the board of review will get a letter from us, can you make these dates? And then, no, we can't, then we want it back to the, you can't, on paper.
Alright, I think we've talked it enough. And
Yeah,
you're-
we will not be able to have time to come back as a board to change those dates.
We're gonna meet in probably 10 days.
We're meeting again, so, but,
There's certain board of
This-
review laws about notification, this involves people's taxes.
which is why I simply meant, don't forget to notify it. Alright, you turned it into, oh, there's no intention, some secret. It is what
I
it
did
is.
not, Terry.
Sorry.
Alright, next is, new business. Let's set the meeting date for the public hearing and the board of review.
Wednesday, July 3rd, 5:30.
When,
My,
we have a proposed date of Wednesday, July 3rd
I cannot,
at 5:30.
I cannot be there on that day.
Alright,
and downstate for a medical appointment.
Jim?
As long as they're looking at Wednesday, we're gonna know alternate date.
What, you got an alternate date?
What about the 9th? Tuesday, July 9th?
That's okay with me.
Alright, Karen, what? Kim?
Tuesday, July 9th, at what time?
5:30.
Okay.
Alright, Demetrius?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Alright. I don't make excuses, so I'll be here. Alright, so now we have a motion on the board from Jim to establish the next township budget meeting to be July 9th, Tuesday, or, no, correction, that was Crystal that did that. Crystal, July 9th, 5:30 PM. Does that give us proper time to meet all the 15-day notices and all this other stuff?
Mhm.
6 day.
6-day, and yes,
Alright, can we get it in the proper font and take
Yeah.
out like a whole page?
You gotta take the holiday weekend out of there, you know.
There you go. A whole page notice. Alright, so that was Karen, or correction, Crystal, and Jim seconded.
Yeah.
Alright. I like it, sooner is better than later. Any further discussion on the date?
Mhm.
Alright, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Those opposed? Madam Chair, the ayes have it. And we have set a new date to properly comply. On that note, just before you send it off, email all the board members a copy of what you're gonna send out.
okay,
Alright, and that gives everybody an opportunity to review it. And then, we'll get her sent out. There should be a template or something.
there isn't, that's part of the problem.
Alright, I got carried away at public notice and gave you the little thing.
Can I say one thing?
You may,
One last thing, since it's my last meeting.
yes.
You know, after being accused of being, several times we've been accused of being a deficient board, I started thinking of some of the things that we have accomplished. And what just come to mind was paying an extra $200,000 on one of the water bonds. We paid off the M30 water bond early. Partnering with, Water District has given the residents fresh water access, all while expanding Harper Park. I would say that that's hardly inefficient, it would seem to me. It's like we have accomplished things.
Plus investing township money in my class to get us over 5% interest
Exactly.
on money that
Isn't
was
that a
just
thing?
sitting in the bank, doing nothing.
So I'm leaving knowing that I have done my best. And as I said before, I will continue to pray for our township and those that are serving it. And I depart smiling. Thank you.
It's called a mic drop.
I motion to adjourn at the last sentence.
6:28. Alright, good stuff. See you guys in July.